Namah Shivay. This is Arsonist Fire. I'm back here on the Way of Dharma, and today we are having another episode of season 1 of Getting to Know Devi. And today our topic is Mahakali. Before we go further, please subscribe, like, and share. Welcome to all the new members and welcome to the supporters of the Way of Dharma. This is a channel where you will get association with vibrating people. This is a channel where we will upload mantras, shlokas, and something that would be helpful to the growth of the sadhaka or the spiritual aspirant. The Way of Dharma will be discussing topics from African spirituality, Western magical concepts, and Sanatana Dharma, which is Hinduism, and the Dharma, which is Buddhism, and the Eastern cultures of spirituality. The keywords for today is Kali, Kala, and Maha. Maha means great, Kali means time. So, also Kala means time and darkness and creation basically. So Kali is just a Sanskrit variation of the feminine word Kala basically. So Kala would be the male variant of the word, and then Kali would be the female or the feminized word of time or darkness basically. She comes from that root. Her name comes from that root. So she's also the consort of Mahakala, meaning the great time or the great god of time. Her being the great goddess of time, Mahakali. So let us go further into it. She has 10 other forms. She's the first of those 10 forms, which are the Mahavidyas. I have a story with Mahakali before we go further into it. I was trading Forex back in 2020, and at that time my friend was very skillful at trading. Knowing that I came very far and I'm more experienced than him, because I dropped out of school to actually learn trading. So I wanted to boast, and my aim for trading was actually self-centered. So I approached Mahakali thinking that she would remove the limitations that would make me to not progress or be successful at Forex trading. Instead, she showed me the false sense of self or the self-centered view of unreality that I had basically. So she made me lose that money that I had an attachment to, that was making me to have a false self-centered view of myself basically. So that's how intense the teachings of Mahakali are. She's considered the most compassionate of all her manifestations. She's the fiercest. This is because Mahakali will not sugarcoat things, and she will not sugarcoat any lessons that you have to learn. You come to her with false self-centered view, she will take whatever that you are attached to and actually show you of your illusory self-centered unreality. Approach Mahakali with caution if you can't handle the truth. This is why I always advise you to stand in Dharma, stand in truth, before you can actually approach such powerful energy. The iconography of Goddess Kali. Mahakali wears a garland of skulls and a skirt of dismembered arms because the ego arises from identification with the body. In truth, we are beings of spirit and not of the flesh. So liberation can only proceed when our attachment to the body ends. Now, guys, if you are prepared to lose most of your material possessions, the things that you identify yourself with, Mahakali will help you with that. I'm kidding. So, liberation can only proceed when our attachment to the body or material things ends, not completely, of course. Thus, the garland and skirts are trophies worn by her to symbolize having liberated her from attachment, her children from attachment to the limited body. She holds a sword and a freshly severed head dripping blood. As the story goes, this represents a great battle in which she destroyed the demon Raktabija. Her black skin represents the womb of the quantum manifest from which all creation arises and into which all of creation will eventually dissolve. She is depicted as standing on Shiva, who lays beneath her with white skin, in contrast to her black, dark, sometimes dark blue skin. He has a blissful, detached look. Shiva represents pureless form or pure formlessness and pure awareness. Sachitananda, being consciousness bliss, while she represents form eternally supported by the substratum of pure awareness. By not understanding the story behind Mother Kali, it is easy to misinterpret her iconography. In the same way, one could say that Christianity is a religion of death, destruction, and cannibalism, in which the practitioners drink the blood of Jesus and eat his flesh. Of course, we know this is not the proper understanding of the communion ritual. Now, there's the story of Kali and Mahishasura, the demon, slaying of the demon by the goddess. When the gods laid exhausted after warring with demons, the evil-natured demon King Mahishasura took the opportunity to assemble an army and declare himself Lord of Heaven and ruler of the universe. This blasphemy reached Vishnu's ears, and in anger he shot forth a terrible light from his forehead. Now, this story, guys, is just figuratively. It's something that has another meaning. It's an allegory, basically. So, Mahakali, when the gods were laid and they were tired, basically, arrogance, anger, greed, all those negative demons and other asuras were actually taking over humanity and they were enslaving humanity. So, when that blasphemy and that sacrilege reached Vishnu's ears, Vishnu in anger shot forth a terrible light from his forehead. This is also figuratively. That would mean that he intervened basically in trying to stop this demon from overpowering, basically. He shot forth a terrible light from his forehead. Shiva too was angry and ascended from his lofty state of meditation and beamed a sharp ray of blinding light in the same direction as Vishnu, Brahma, Indra, and other mighty gods did likewise, each issuing forth piercing rays of light. All the gods' rays joined at one point and slowly blazing, the concentration of light took shape in the form of a woman. The light of Shiva formed her face. Yama gave her hair and Vishnu gave her arms. The light of Chandra, the moon god, gave her two breasts, and Indra modeled her waist and Varuna her thighs. Earth gave her hips and Brahma gave her feet. The light from the god Agni, the god of fire, Agni Devaya, fashioned her three eyes. Thus all gods contributed their power to manifest the auspicious Devi, the great mother goddess. Devi is actually derived from the Sanskritam word Div, which means to shine, the shining one. Very, very nice. As soon as the Devi was fully formed, the immortals prayed to her, worshipped her with praise, ornaments, and weapons. This would signify the sadhakas doing sadhana, contacting Mahadevi or Mahakali to actually get help from her. So Shiva gave her a trident drawn forth from his own. Vishnu a powerful discus, which is the Sudarshan chakra. I'll have a story on that chakra alone. And Indra, the king of gods, gave her a thunderbolt identical to his own. Surya, the sun god, bestowed rays on all the pores of her skin. Varuna, god of the ocean, gave her a divine crest jewel, earrings, bracelets, and a garland of unfading lotuses. Victory to the mother, shouted the gods as they watched the demon battalions approaching with the beating of drums, battle cries, and the blowing of conches. Since the Devi was of enormous size and highly visible, the demons marched straight toward her, attacking her from all sides with arrows, clubs, swords, and spears. Unperturbed, the Devi roared loudly and laughed frighteningly again and again, and then her 10 arms rotated, alternately smashing weapons of the demons and hurling them back at the attackers. With great ease, she picked up thousands of demons at once, killing them with her own sword. Some demons she didn't even bother to pick up. She stupefied them with the tremendous noise of her bell and then crushed them with her mace. The demon Raktabija gave the mother a fair amount of trouble. He possessed a special magical power which allowed him to create new demons from his own blood, basically. So this would be likened to what? The concept of unwanted population. The man or the man and the woman using their seed and their blood to actually create a new nation, an unwanted population. Like in the case of nowadays, you see so many children out of wedlock basically. It's a form of deterioration of a nation, which is also spoken of in the Bhagavad Gita. So that's also the powers of Raktabija. So with each and every drop of blood that would drop on the ground, it sprouted another demon full of strength and brutality. But in the end, the mother outwitted him. She picked up Raktabija and lifted him high into the air to avoid spilling his blood on the ground, and then gnashing him between her teeth, she drank his blood and swallowed him whole, basically. In other stories, they say that during the fight, the war, Mahakali would kill the demon Raktabija, but then the blood would flow and touch the ground, and it would bear two more demons or more demons which Mahakali couldn't contain, basically. So when she killed those demons, the blood would then spill. Instead of letting the blood spill on the ground, she would actually catch the blood with her tongue, basically, and then swallowed the blood, which would then render his powerful spell useless, basically. Other demons too tried to confuse the goddess with their magical powers. Whenever they were threatened by Devi, they changed their form and color. This is what demons do. The emotions, the traumas that you have, they change into something else. Sometimes you have love problems. Instead of being able to fix that problems, it spills off into something else. Maybe you might be afraid of women, and then you fix that trauma. It becomes over now. You are over obsessed with women. It's similar to demons changing form and color. So, what were we saying? They changed form and color, but who can escape the great mother? Bound by her nose and spitting blood, these demons were soon caught by the Devi, and like a child pulling a toy train, she dragged them over the battlefield where scores of demons already lay, split into two by the sharp slashes of her sword. Snatching some elephants with one hand, the Devi flung them into her mouth, and together with the demon drivers, she furiously ground them up with her teeth. She seized one demon by the hair and by the neck, and another by the neck. One she crushed them by the weight of her foot, and then she crushed them. She crushed, and another she crushed with her body. One she crushed with the weight of her foot, and another with the body. The mother's terrible presence filled even the sky. Black clouds gathered, and terrifying lightning lit up the ghastly shapes on the ground. There were demons without arms, without legs, and demons torn asunder in the middle of their trunks. Now, this would be the story of Mahakali. She also has 10 other aspects which are called the Mahavidya. You might want to research more of the on the Mahavidya. This is actually the first chorus. I will be talking about the 9 other ones, the Mahavidyas. One of her mantra, which is very effective, the one that I was chanting at that time to actually show me the false self, would be Om, not Om, Om Kring Kalikaye Namaha. Om Kring Kalikaye Namaha. That would be the mantra that I was chanting at that time. Or you can simply do a variation of it, which is Om Kreem Kalikaye Namaha. Om Kreem Kalikaye Namaha. The one for chasing away evil spirits would be Om Kreem Mahakalikayai Namaha. Om Kreem Mahakalikayai Namaha. That would be the mantra. And then there's also many other mantras you can search, like the Mahakalikayai mantra and many other mantras you can search to actually contact Mahakali. Her Ekakshara mantra, Bija mantra, would be Kreem, Kreem. Now approach Mahakali with caution. Mahakali will show you your true limitations, will actually teach you by taking you into the fire to actually experience a shock, to realize of your false, illusory self. Approach Mahakali with truth. Approach Mahakali with caution. If you are not a truthful person, your character would be destroyed. But yes, even if you are not a truthful person, approach Mahakali, she will nyam you, and hopefully you will come out better on the other side. So I give thanks. I'd like to thank you for supporting the Way of Dharma, to those that have been tuning in and supporting. I'd like to thank you all, those that have subscribed to the Way of Dharma. I'd like to thank you for even paying attention to this channel and what we are about. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Don't forget to also hit the notification bell to be notified, because I know most can't catch up with the content from the Way of Dharma because of the consistency. So thank you. Om Namah Shivaya.